You know, everyone's going to think I'm really crazy when they tune in and see me meowing at the camera. Yes, they are. They're going to think I'm like crazy. Yeah, look who's found the brush. There's a nibble for you. Always comes out right at the beginning here. See if we can coax her into the shot here. And there goes Nibble. Nobody have anything to say today? Or did YouTube's new interface? They got some new interface to start up a live stream here. And I'm just wondering if they haven't worked out all the bugs yet. I'm not seeing any comments coming from anyone yet. We're 3 minutes in. Usually something's happened by now. There we go. Okay. Pegtooth is here. Was that Bite that meowed? It might be, or it might have been me. I meow sometimes too. It's showing 11 people to me, but you're the only one so far that's posting. At least so far as I can tell. There we go. There's Michael. Hi, Michael. I'm just wondering, there's like a new startup screen to begin the live stream, and I'm wondering if I had set some setting wrong, but I'm starting to see some people in here now. So, all right. Hello, Suzanne. Hi, Rich. Yeah, we got a lot of rain. We got probably good 5 inches of rain over the last week. Now it's back to being hot again. It's funny. I was listening to the weatherman on the radio this morning, and he was saying that that it's really a nice day out today, but it's like Texas in the summer. Apparently, this is an unusual summer though, because we haven't had a day over 100 yet. At least that's what people have been saying at work. You know, usually at this point, you've had a number of 100+ days. Am I okay? Yeah, as far as I know. I mean, physically, emotionally, that's another issue. But Suzanne's not seeing anything in the comments section. It's strange. I don't know. There's a bunch of weird settings now to start up a live stream that are different from last time I did this. And I was wondering if maybe I said something wrong. What am I doing today? I'm doing a live stream, entertaining the kiddies. Basically, I kind of slept in a little bit this morning, and so I was a little late starting the live stream because of that. That's why I usually try and start at about 11 local time. It was about 11:10 this time. It has been kind of nice having a little bit warmer weather the last few days. When you get rain, one of the things that happens is the water temperature in the pool drops a bit. And so, I find that the water is very comfortable when it gets up to about 86 degrees, but when it drops just a couple degrees, it feels cold when you get into it. So, when it rained last week, I didn't get in the pool a whole lot because, the water got down to like 83 or 82. I know I'm probably a wimp when it comes to that, but it's more comfortable when it's a little warmer. And last night it was back up to 86, so it felt good to get in there. I look fantastic as always. Oh, right. Well, I have the "You Look Fantastic" filter on the camera today, so and it doesn't just work on me; it works on him too. He's actually a rat. You don't know that. It's just the "You Look Fantastic" filters on, so he looks like a cat, right? You're actually a rat, aren't you? And you aren't meowing at me. You're asking for cheese, aren't you? Yeah. Oh yeah. I was getting a little fuzzy. It was time to do something about that. I'm one of those people that, I don't deal with it like every like few weeks or even once a month. It's like I deal with it when it starts bugging me, and it was starting to bug me. So it was time. I see any helpful comments on the kitchen cabinets? Yeah, I considered a lot of the options that people suggested. Ultimately, I've made the decision that I'm going to replace the cabinets, and you'll see that in an upcoming video. As a matter of fact, they're coming out to measure for it tomorrow. So you'll probably also see parts of that in an upcoming video. 86 is freezing to peg tooth. All right. Well, I find it's funny because like even 84, just a couple degrees cooler, and I get in there, it's like, oh, too cold. But when it gets to 86, it seems pretty good. And it's running at 86 right now. So I was in the pool a little bit last night. What's nice to do is I go out for a walk like at 10 o'clock at night when it's, kind of dark and quiet out and still a little bit warm because, we're still in the summer. So, 10 o'clock at night, it's still, upper 70s, maybe even lower 80s. And so you get up there, you walk a little bit, you work up a little bit of a sweat, then you get back in the pool. It feels really good. You're making me blush, Michelle. Morning, Angela. How are you doing? Yeah, YouTube is always kind of messing around with things, and actually, it looks like their setup screen to start a live stream now is getting to be more like their setup screen to upload a video. So maybe in the end that will be a little better. I can have, maybe more options, maybe some custom thumbnails. It didn't give me an option to shoot a photo, and that was why there isn't a photo associated with the live stream today. I'll have to figure that out in the future. Maybe I'll just have to pull the camera out and do it that way. Shoot a photo and then upload that. Oh, Michael's trying to reduce the size of the some of the bites and nibbles recipes for just one person. That's an option. You know what I do? Sorry, the masks at work are catching up with me again. What I do is I'll just make the lasagna and then cut it up into single servings and put it in the freezer. Then when I want one, I just pull it out of the freezer, pop it in the microwave, and I'm good to go. Oh, you just saw the one where Jordan and I went to Disneyland and saw the woman who played Annie in the movie. Yeah, I remember that. That was kind of fun. Yeah, your jaw was just a baby then. He's getting to be an old man. Not an old man like this guy, but still an old man. I'm not going to really change the layout of the new cabinets and the kitchen. You know, I'm pretty much happy with it now. The truth is, when they come in and do the cabinets, they're going to basically strip the kitchen back to its bare bones to do that. But I'm not going to change anything. I'm happy with the way it is. The only thing that's going to be different is we're going to remove those bulkheads up along the ceiling, and the cabinets are going to go up higher. That's one of the things I don't really like about the layout of the kitchen. I think, and I mentioned it in the video, is that the cabinets are very low. I expect that they were probably built for somebody who is maybe not quite as tall as I am, and so you know there's like 12 inches of dead space between the ceiling and the top of the cabinets, and then the cabinets are like very low, probably so somebody who's a little smaller than I can reach them. But you know, it's my house now, and we're going to rip out those bulkheads and we're going to push it up to the ceiling. So we'll actually get a little bit more cabinet space out of it too, and so that'll be good. It's going to look nice. It better for the amount of money I'm going to spend on it. Morning, Gene. How are you? I'm doing all right. Black Dot's here. Hey, Black Dot. How are you doing? Yeah, it's not going to be cheap, but you know the advantage I have right now is I don't have any debt. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out a credit card and we're going to put it on the credit card. We'll pay it off um, over the next few years. It'll be all right. I got like an 8-year loan on it, and so I can pay it off a little bit at a time. And the advantage is there's no penalty for paying it off early. So probably what'll end up happening is I'll pay it off at a faster rate than the minimum, just so I can get it out of there quickly. What color did I decide on the cabinets? I'm going to go white. No, we're going to keep the countertops that are there. I like them, but they're going to have to pull them out in order to install the cabinets, and they'll reinstall them. How's my mom? My mom's doing good. She actually, I guess she watches enough of these live streams now that she realizes that every time somebody asks about her, I say, "Well, I think she's fine, but you know, it's been a week since I talked to her." So she sent me a text message yesterday and said, "Yeah, I'm doing fine. She's having issues. She's having issues with all the smoke from the fires, but other than that, she's doing good." Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it too, Angela. You know, it's a big investment, but it's an investment in my house and it adds to the value of the house. So it's worth it. Stupid Norton antivirus keeps kicking in the middle of the live streams because it doesn't think I'm doing anything. And the little window says it's performing background tasks. Keeps popping up in front of the text window, so I can't see what people are writing. Yeah, yeah, she's the best mom I've ever had. Right, Bite? Yeah. Yeah, I really like the idea of the stone out there, but it wasn't done right. And honestly, it hurt a little bit to walk on with bare feet, especially when it wasn't even constant stone on that little path going out to the pool. You know, I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I get a couple beers in me and it's like trying to navigate those stones and not trip over them or something like that. At night when I'm going out to the pool, it's like, I just prefer the concrete. It's simpler, it's easier on the feet, and I'm really happy how that turned out. When am I going to talk to Home Depot? Actually, it isn't going to be Home Depot. I went to my Home Depot. They didn't have anybody there that was really a specialist in this kind of stuff. And they said, you ought to go to this other Home Depot that has a kitchen designer. And I went out there, and apparently their kitchen designer quit the day before. So they didn't have one either. So ultimately they ended up sending me to Lowe's, and so I'm back in bed with Lowe's again. So they're going to do it. We're going to give them another chance, see what happens. Smoke from those fires is cleared in Minnesota. Yeah, well, I guess it's really bad in California right now. My mom says it's bugging her. Yeah, YouTube changed something, PDXer. I don't know, because it was a different process for me to start up. You may have noticed that there wasn't a thumbnail associated with today's video. Usually, part of the process is I just get to snap a photo, but it didn't give me an option to do that today. Now, they've set up the process now for starting up a live stream. It's very, very similar to the one for uploading a video. And so, I guess what I can do is create a thumbnail image ahead of time and upload that the way I would upload a thumbnail for a regular video. So I guess I'll just have to prepare for that in the future. Eric's got to go to school tomorrow. Yeah, I was thinking about that yesterday. Glad it's not me. I don't have to go to school tomorrow. I didn't try Costco. There isn't really a Costco here. I've been a Costco customer for a long time, but the nearest Costco to me is 100 miles away. And the reason you go to Costco is for bulk savings. And if you're burning up all the money on the bulk savings, driving there and back, it isn't really that much of a benefit anymore. So I've kind of let my Costco card lapse. I don't really have an issue with the difference between uh, Lowe's and Home Depot, except for the fact that Lowe's kind of screwed me over two times early on. And I don't know. I've always preferred Home Depot anyway, but it wasn't because I thought Home Depot was necessarily better than Lowe's. It was a convenience thing. There were three Home Depots close to me in my house in California. They were closer to me than the nearest Lowe's. So I always just went to Home Depot because of convenience. But um, there are some things that Lowe's I think is a little better on. Um, Lowe's I think maybe has a little bit nicer of a garden section. They also have a little bit more kind of what I would say like artsy fartsy stuff. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it too, Mark. Like I said, it's going to be a big chunk of cash, but I financed it over what an 8 year period, and so it won't be that bad, and I'll pay it off in probably half the time just to get out from underneath it. We do have an Ace Hardware here, but there's only one of them, and I've been there a couple times, and it isn't really that impressive. It doesn't compare to Home Depot or Lowe's. That might just be this local one, but because I mean I've been to Ace before. There's Ace Hardware in California, and it seemed to me they were a decent competitor to Home Depot and Lowe's, but this one just seems to be, about quarter of size of normal. No, Paul or Eric has a elective class on film and audio, and they're going to learn Photoshop, video editing, and recording videos. That'll come in handy for your vlog. I'm kind of self-taught on Photoshop, but it's a powerful program. I love Photoshop. Yeah, I've been to Costco once since I've been here, and that was because I had a gift card that my parents gave me a few years ago. What they did is they knew that what I would do is that they give me like a $500 gift card, and they know what I do is I go in and buy $500 in meat, and I'll put it in the freezer and eat for a year. And so they like doing that. And and usually they give me one for every Christmas, but the meat that I bought lasted longer than a year, so I didn't use the next one until the meat from the previous one was gone. And this time, it was more than a year after I moved here because I didn't have the freezer when I was in the apartment. That didn't really start becoming an issue again until I moved into the house, and then I had to. I needed to fill it up again. So yeah, I think I agree. I see Jeff is in the house. Hey Jeff, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't really get a whole lot of trolls in here. I mean, those that you hear every week, it's not very often we get something like that. And I don't know if that was necessarily a troll or just, I don't know. I don't need a full-time troll hunter anymore. It's something I can handle on my own. I think Jordan got all the main ones right at the beginning, because for a while there was a lot of them. If you remember, like a year or two ago when I do it, we'd have 8 or 10 trolls on every live stream. I think it's the first time I've had to block somebody in a long time. So yeah, we got rid of them. I mean, first off, if you need help in Pakistan, don't come on somebody's live stream and say, I need help in Pakistan. What do you expect me to do it during a live stream? After I'm done with the cabinets and paint the room, your home improve upgrades are done. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do for the vlog. I know. I'm worried about that too. Yeah, we're always glad when you pop in here, Jeff. We get you here for a little bit before you go off to lunch. How are the cabinets in the kitchen doing? Well, I mean, they're still in there. They're still the same, but I've actually made a decision. You'll see that in an upcoming vlog that we're going to actually just replace the cabinets. That I think is the best option because what I want to do, in addition to just getting rid of those doors, which I can't stand, a lot of people suggested just refacing them, but and that maybe is an option. But one of the things I want to do is, as I showed you, there's those bulkheads along the top between the ceiling and the top of the cabinets, and I want to rip those out, push the cabinets up to the ceiling. It's just a little too claustrophobic in there, so. No, all I can see, Peg, is the number of people that are in here. I don't have a list of who they are. Am I into Elvis? Not like Jordan is. No, when people ask the classic Beatles or Elvis question, my answer is always Beatles. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate the super chat. I'll put that into the cabinet fund. Jeff is always a big, big supporter of this channel. That's why I like supporting his channel too. If you haven't already, go over and check out Cooking with a Kid. That's Jeff Kidd's vlog. He does a bunch of really great cooking videos. Yeah, check it out if you get a chance. It's funny. I was talking to Jordan. Gene just said break something so you can do it. That's not how it's done. Vlog. Jordan was saying, at one point, I was saying, by the time I finally go over and visit him, he's going to have everything, taken care of, and I'm not going to have anything to do. And he says, "Oh, it's okay. I'll break something." Yeah, Eric doesn't want to go to school. I remember that too. The worst day of the year is the day before school starts because it just seems like so long. And I remember when I was going to school, school didn't start until like the middle of September. So starting at the end of August, that really kind of sounds like it sucks. I feel for you, Eric. I really do. Hey, bite. Nice butt shot. Yeah, I don't really worry too much about the trolls. It isn't really that big of a deal. There aren't that many of them anymore. It was a big deal at the beginning. I think a lot of people, saw, saw me on Jordan and then followed me over here, and it was a lot of the same trolls that went after Jordan. That was why it made sense to make Jordan an admin, is because he knew who they were, because he'd already blocked them himself. Yeah, I'm with you, Angela. Beatles are, they smoke Elvis. Sorry for those of you who disagree, but Elvis had his moments, but I prefer the Beatles. People in Pakistan don't ask for help, ask God. Well, one of the things I'm assuming it's a her. Her handle was something about the Quran, so don't ask God, ask Allah. Am I planning to decorate for Halloween? No, it looks like I'm going to be going to Silo of Screams again this year. Um, they've already even told me what I'm going to be doing again. I think I'm going to be doing the same thing that I did the first year, which was the creepy dentist. So that was kind of fun. Last year, you recall, I was in that cage. That was fun too. I had a lot of fun with that. And my JFK, yeah, my JFK video is the one where I trace Oswald's route from the Texas Book Depository to where he was caught at the theater. Yeah, that's my far and away my most popular video. And the second one was the one where I went into his jail cell. So yeah, I ought to do stuff like that again. Those are popular ones. But I think anything JFK related is just gonna attract all sorts of attention. And Jordan helped me with those too. He helped me come up with the titles on those. I don't usually do clickbaity titles that much, but those are a little bit clickbaity, and I think that and the assassination story that just got a whole lot of people that kind of came in based on that and wanting to learn about that. Yeah, I agree. Jeff Kidd's channel is great. He's got a lot of the same viewers I have, and my viewers are great, so it makes sense his viewers are going to be great too. I should go do a smash room, smash things and record it. I don't know about that. That sounds a little expensive. Now, if it's somebody else's stuff I can smash, that's one thing. Everybody liked the JFK video. Yeah, that was a fun one to do. It's amazing. I shot actually all three of those videos on one day. I drove down to Dallas, drove up to Dallas technically, uh, in the morning. Did went to the book depository, then did the walk around town, and all that in one day. Ended with a visit to Oswald's grave. Hello, Dave and Terry. How you doing? Yeah, I still have a little of the carrot cake. I'm eating it though. It's still good. Had a little bit of it last night while I was watching a movie. Will I ever visit the Presidential Library of the Bushes? Yeah, perhaps. That'd be fun to do. It's Jordan's the one who's really into the presidential libraries. I mean, I've been to the Nixon Library a couple of times because I used to just live like 2 miles from there. And I went to the Reagan Library a couple of times up in Simi Valley because that was fairly close. But other than that, and then of course, Jordan and I went to LBJ Library down in Austin last year when he was here. Well, you can always send me another recipe. Carrot cake cookies sound good. It would probably be a while before I would do that one, just because I did carrot cake recently. But never hurts to send it. I keep them all. I file them away, and I might pop it out at some point. Can you vlog inside of Presidential Library? I don't. Jordan vlogged inside of LBJ Library. Leave me alone, Norton. I have to go in and disable Norton every time I start a live stream because it keeps popping up on the screen. It wants to scan my computer when I'm doing a live stream, and the little window telling me that it's doing that keeps covering up the text messages that people are sending, so I can't read what you're seeing or what you're saying. We clean up Venice now, huh? That needed to happen, I think. I mean, Venice is kind of a touristy thing, so if you're going to chase all the touristy people off by having a bunch of homeless camping on the beach there, then you're making your choice. Top Vloggers likes the history vlog. I enjoy doing some of the history ones too. It's kind of fun to do the Waco history. I've been doing a lot of Waco history because there's a lot more of it here than you'd think. Cheryl got to visit the Truman Library. That'd be fun. Yeah, Jimmy Carter, I don't think he was much of a president, but he's had a very good post-presidential career, and I respect him for things like Habitat for Humanity. That's a good thing. That's putting your efforts to work. Do I ever plan on doing a bite and nibble cookbook? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, a lot of the recipes I do are out of cookbooks that are copywritten, so that would be an issue. The only ones I really have are like old family recipes. To move the cabinets up, will I have to paint the walls? Yeah, but I can do that. I painted the rest of the kitchen, so that'll just be a little touch-up work. And in some cases, some of them, there's some of them that go floor to ceiling, so there won't be any more painting. I'll just have to, uh, just they'll just be more cabinet space, which is a good thing. But yeah, there are a few of them that um, there's a few areas that I'll have to do some painting, but that's fine. Just been to the Truman Library too, huh? They're tearing down the La Bianca house. Oh, that's I guess there's reasons for that. It's funny whenever I see someone mention the Truman Library, I keep thinking the movie Truman, so I'm thinking Jim Carrey. Okay, Jeff says the Truman Library is in Independence, Missouri. I guess that's a good place for a presidential library. I'll have to correct you a little bit, Laura Lee. Right now, the Taliban has taken over Kabul. I thought about adding an island where the kitchen table is. No, no, not really. I'm pretty good where with that end of the kitchen, And if I do, it might be just something I add myself. I'm reasonably handy, but right now what I have is enough cabinet space, and I'm actually going to end up with a little bit more cabinet space out of all this. So I'm still thinking at some point I want to make a big long counter to run the entire length of this wall, or not a counter, a platform like a table kind of thing, and that'll be something I make on my own. How long do I think it'll take them to do the cabinet job? Well, once the cabinets are made, they think they're going to be able to put it in about 4 days. So we'll figure that out. Now here's the issue. Um, it's going to be 17 weeks before they can even start because the combination of the fact that it's so hard to get people to work right now, and the fact that because everybody's at home because of COVID stuff, everybody's doing remodeling stuff. There's this big long lead time between when you order something. So the cabinets aren't even going to be installed until probably end of December. We'll probably go in about Christmas. So and that'll probably delay things even further because 17 weeks right now is about Christmas. And so I don't know. We'll have to see. Bite always likes to show his butt. Don't you, Bite? Yeah, I agree with you, Angela. I got decent counter space. I have enough for what I need. Um, I did something in my house in California where I actually tripled the amount of counter space that I had in the kitchen with a couple of basically floating platforms that I built on the walls, and they turned out pretty well. And like I said, I'm planning something similar, like for right here on this wall. I'm really getting to the point where I want to start getting serious about my California trip. I don't know if it'll be in September. It's not going to be in October because in October I'm going to be doing Silo Screams. So if it doesn't happen in September, it'll probably have to be like around Thanksgiving or something like that. So plant a lemon tree, huh? Yeah, maybe. I'm in an island with seating to replace the table. Yeah, I don't know. The table is getting kind of old, and I may replace it at some point. I don't know if it'll actually be an island. Before I go to California, do I have to get tested? I'm vaccinated, so that shouldn't be an issue. That is one of the things, though, that's kind of making me trying to figure out what I want to do because California is one of those states that just kind of overdoes the whole COVID thing. Let's get the thing on the towel here so that we don't drag on the floor here. This bite disappeared. Might as well send it to the camera. Mike's just down at the end of the hall now, staring at me. Yeah, that's I've said a lot about the whole vaccinated people wearing masks. That's crazy. They're kind of making a big deal over the fact that Governor Abbott, the governor of Texas, is vaccinated, but he was recently uh, it was recently determined that he had it, but he didn't have any symptoms. And apparently, I just read today that they tested him again, and now he doesn't have it. So it just makes you wonder how reliable the testing process is. That you can get false negatives like that or false positives. Well, the whole issue I have with the whole everybody has to wear a mask now is being able to take the mask off was supposed to be the reward for getting the vaccine. So basically, the official position of the government is that we should all get the vaccine. It's like, okay, well, why would you get the vaccine? Why would you inject something into your veins that a lot of people have concerns about if it doesn't get you anything? They've just basically, compromised their own argument. That's one of the other reasons I like Texas. Our governor here just issued an executive order basically banning mask mandates. I'm not saying you can't do it, but can't wear one if you want, but that you can't force people to wear a mask. Did I have to get vaccinated? No, I chose to do so. My work offered them for free, to anyone who wanted them, and it was available. I was eligible to get it back in March, so I got it in March. So far, I still only have two arms, and I'm not growing a second head or anything. So, what kind of vaccine did you get? I got the Johnson & Johnson one, the single shot. Yeah, you're right, Black Dot. That's it exactly. I was talking to a friend at work who smokes, and she was saying at one point, she took a drag on her cigarette and then put her mask on and exhaled, and the smoke was coming out of the mask. So if the mask is blocking smoke, it's not going to block a virus either. I think a lot of the problems with the wildfires is just that people aren't managing the forests anymore. I can't speak for everywhere, but I know in California, they don't manage their forests. You got to get in there and do controlled burns during the winter months when it's safe to burn out all of the old dead underbrush so that the fires don't get bad. Angela's trying to get an exemption. Yeah, I got the vaccine. I'm not going to. I'm not putting pressure on anyone to do it. You got to make that decision yourself. But um, you got to weigh the consequences and the risks for yourself and decide for yourself. I did it. I think it was a good idea for me. But like I said, I was never really terribly afraid of this thing to begin with because this isn't a virus that affects people my age really much. It really targets older people, and that's part of the problem you run into. When they try and say, "Oh, everybody's got to wear it." It's like, well, kids too. We're making the argument that there's no downside to wearing masks. There's all sorts of downsides to wearing masks, especially for kids. I was reading a study recently that young kids are just kind of learning how to read facial expressions, and that's a big part of socializing. Um, and when your face is covered up with a mask, you can't learn those facial expressions, and that's hurting our kids. So to have any side effects in the vaccine? No, not at all. Nothing at all. When they gave me the stick, they made me hang out there for about 15, 20 minutes just so they can observe me. But even the most simple things like injection site redness or something like that didn't have any of that. Well, I think in Suzanne, I think in California's case, it's like I said before, they don't manage their forests. You got to go in there, you got to do controlled burns, to burn away all the undergrowth, all the stuff that, all the dead, undergrowth there. Because otherwise, that just makes the fire worse. Yeah, I agree with the top bloggers. Talk to your doctor about it. Your doctor's going to know better than anyone. Yeah, I agree with Susan too. If you've had the virus, you've got natural antibodies. Well, I'm not saying that people under 80 don't get the virus, but people get struck by lightning too. But we don't go hide in our houses because of that. If you're concerned about it, you wear the mask. That's kind of my position. I don't want to talk about that anymore, though. Let's talk about something else. That's too depressing. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past YouTube, David. And the bite man is back. So let's talk about bites, but what am I going to be replacing the palms with? I don't know yet. I kind of need to do that whole area out there again because I kind of made the mistake putting the blue bonnets in there, and the blue bonnets are kind of sun lovers, and there wasn't enough sun there, so they didn't do well. I've been to Boca Chica. No, I don't know. I haven't. Ready for fall weather? You know what? I'm not really. I mean, I like being able to use the pool. It's been a weird summer here, so the pool hasn't been really nice and warm a whole lot. So, I now that we're getting to the point where the pool is a nice warm temperature, I like being able to use it. It's still a bit novelty having it, and you can't use it during the winter because it's not heated in any way. So, what's for dinner? I don't know. Actually, I made something for a bites and nibble segment that hasn't gone live yet. That I may pull out and have some of that. Favorite hotspots in Waco? You know what? I'm not really a party person, so I don't really go to any of that kind of stuff. It isn't really for me. I'm more of a sit at home and watch TV. Yeah, let's talk about food. That's good. Easy on the vodka. Wouldn't really want to do vodka during a live stream. This is the beginning of the day, and I still got to do a vlog today. So, can you imagine me doing a vlog and all being all hammered out of my head? think I can have a pecan tree in Texas. Actually, I have three wild pecan trees in the front yard. Right now, they just seem to be entertaining the squirrels, but I'm told that I can actually sell them and harvest and sell them. I might do that at some point. Can someone in a wheelchair work where I work? I suppose so. Yeah, I agree with you, David. That's how it was in California too. I never was aware, I never knew what plant was going to work well in the yard. And so I'd plant something, and if it worked, it worked. And if it didn't, I put something else in there. It's all just trial and error. Someone gives this stream a thumbs down, they're not a true fan. Well, fortunately, that doesn't even show up on the screen. All I have is a live number, how many people are on here, and how many thumbs up I have. So according to the screen, it's 66 people on here and 30 thumbs up. So that's good. And I guess it'd be really depressing if I saw every thumbs down. But there's always some idiot. It's probably somebody I blocked. Will there be a bike vlog anytime soon? I don't know. Probably not right now. It's a little too hot to be out there riding a bike around, especially during the day. And I wouldn't want to be on a bike at night. Call it the vodka vlog. Bluebonnets are pretty. One of the downsides, and it's one of the things I got to consider about this house, is there's so many trees in the area that there aren't really a lot of areas that get like really a lot of sun. And so I got to consider that when I buy plants. I do like bluebonnets, but fortunately they grow wild everywhere. So I don't have to have them in my yard; they're everywhere. Well, I like having the squirrels in the yard, so you know what? I don't have a problem with the squirrels getting the pecans. It keeps them fat and happy. Well, I do ever do a meet and greet. Yeah, I mean, it'd just be an issue of, I don't know if I'm a big enough vlogger yet to where anybody would come. We tried doing one, about a year ago at Silo of Screams, and I don't know if anyone ever actually showed up. I had a couple people who seemed to recognize me when I was at the attraction last year, but I don't know if they were actually, viewers or just somebody who'd seen the promotional video I shot for John last year. So bear claw findings lately. Honestly, now that I know where to get them, haven't really, hasn't been any additional searching. It was just those couple of vlogs I did. What, almost 2 years ago now, probably. I tried any new IPA. Honestly, you remember that pizza place I went to a while ago? They had another version of that Voodoo Ranger beer that I like, and I tried that, and that was pretty good. So I bought a 6 pack of that, and that was, like I said, it's just a different variety of IPA. Let me go get it for you. I'll show you what it is. And there goes Pike. This is what it is. It's called Juicy Haze IPA, and I tried it. Like I said, I got it with that pizza I bought a few weeks ago, and it seemed pretty good. So I decided I was going to try that. Well, I appreciate that you guys come back every time, David. Bite wake me up meowing this morning. No, he was a good boy this morning. Sometimes he does. Though. I think what happens is if his dish is empty, it's like then you start hearing from him. Like the squirrels bake me a pecan pie. Yeah, I don't think I'd want anything the squirrels would make. Yeah, I almost exclusively do perennials. There's there's a reason I guess for doing the annuals, but I don't like killing plants if I don't have to, and so with the annuals you got to pull them out every year and get something else in. And well, when you do the fires to control the forest, you get to manage the forest, you have to do it during the wet season so that you can keep control of it. You have to monitor it. Because otherwise, when that stuff catches on fire in the summer, when you get the winds and the heat and the low moisture, that's when it becomes a problem. You burn all that stuff off in the winter, then you have less of an issue. You might still get the fires, but they're not going to be as serious and they're going to be easier to control. Yeah, yeah, that's got a little bit of alcohol in it, doesn't it? 7.5%. That's always something I look for in a good beer. Have you ever tried Ratatouille? No, I don't think I ever have. Bill's closer is about 60 miles from the nearest fire. Oh, I totally get it. I've been there. Myself. There's several fires that happened in California that were a lot closer to me than 60 miles. There have been a couple of fires that were literally like 3 or 4 miles from me. And in fact, I got some incredible time lapse footage I shot a few years ago in my out of my back window of a fire that was just literally probably 5 miles up the road from me. And I mean, you could just see the clouds of smoke blowing by. It was insane. You it just made from rats. Yeah, I keep thinking of that Pixar movie Ratatouille about the rat who was a gourmet chef, but nobody wanted to had to have their food cooked by a rat, so he figured out a way to control some kid who was a chef, and he could kind of basically operate the kid like a puppet. Well, I try and be honest. I mean, that's I'm just who I am, right, Bite? Yeah, I was a little concerned crossing over that river too. I was going very, very slowly. Not because I was necessarily concerned about falling in, but if I did fall in, I'd bring my camera in with me, and I didn't want to do that. We'll be open up a beer and taste it, huh? Um, right now it's on the shelf, so it's room temperature. So no, I'm not into warm beer. Yeah, I agree. Why lie? No good comes from it, and it's easy to remember the truth. You don't have to, remember what you said. Just say, "Oh yeah, that's the truth. This is what happened." Wobbly pop. Yeah, that's a good name for beer. I prefer glass. I what I usually do is I keep my mugs in the freezer, and so I'll take I prefer my beer in a bottle, and then over a can. These are cans, and I'm not really a fan of getting cans, but that's really the only way I've been able to find this. So, but I do usually when I drink it, I don't drink it out of the bottle. I transfer it into a frosty mug. I like my beer to be cold. Yeah, there's some people who like warm beer, and I think of Guinness when I think of people, think of warm beer. But even Guinness, I'm not a fan of when it's warm. It's got to be cold. Yeah, my beer mugs get a lot of use. In fact, I probably should get some more just so, because I'm always running out. I have to honestly, that's usually the reason I have to run the dishwasher is because I'm out of beer mugs. So, and honestly, I got some big beer mugs that are like hold two beers, but I don't usually use those. Yeah, beer is best when it's almost a little bit, where a little bit of frost forming on the top. Mark's been having all sorts of apple goodies. Those all sound good. Apple crisp, apple pie, apple sauce. Those all sound great. Yeah, I like to be really adventuresome with beer. I'll go out and sometimes I'll just buy something just because I like the label. It's like, oh, let's see if this is any good. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's like, ew, what was I thinking? Will I be doing a meet and greet? I mean, I would. I'm just not sure anybody would come. I don't know if I'm big enough to attract an audience like that. It'd be fun to do it. I'd love to meet some of you. What's on my shirt? It's a. It's mainly on the back. It's a kind of a military theme thing. I don't know if you can even see it. Here, let me turn around here. Oh, yeah, that's what's on the back. Well, I've got those Steins up there on the shelf, but those are mostly for decoration. The only time they've actually ever been used, a few years ago, Jordan and I went to Oktoberfest in Huntington Beach, and we each brought one of those. And They were kind of fun to carry around. Those are actually authentic German Steins too. Angela's a lightweight when it comes to beer, huh? How many DVDs do I have in my collection? I don't know, probably five or 700. I don't know. I haven't counted. Combo meetup with Jeff, Jordan, and myself. Yeah, well, it'd be a matter of getting us all together. That'd be kind of fun, though. I kind of thought I was the same way at the beginning, Gene. I didn't really think I was a beer person. Wasn't really into the taste either. But it just turned out I just didn't like bad beer. Once I got to the point where I had some good beers, it's like, oh, hey, this is actually kind of good. Now, I think it'd probably be the same with coffee too. I don't drink coffee, but I think the issue with me is just that I don't like bad coffee. I bet you if I ever had a good coffee, I'd probably like it. But you know, since caffeine doesn't work on me anyway, it doesn't make any sense for me to even try it. I don't need another expensive habit of vlogger convention. Yeah, you have your own beer called Genesee Ale. Huh. No, I've never had Tsingtao beer. I've seen it. I've just never tried it. You can't get it in other states, huh? Interesting. It's kind of fun seeing, like, I enjoyed doing that brewery tour for Bear Arms Brewing. That was actually a lot of fun. Like I said, I was so surprised they actually took me in the back and showed me all that. But once again, I don't think the espresso would have the effect on me. So why would I do it? I just might as well just have a glass of milk. Yeah, that's sort of what I think too, Suzanne. Look at it. I mean, I got what 3,600 subscribers across the world. Now, probably half of them are in the United States, but even there, how many people are really within 50 or 100 miles of Waco that would actually be willing to come here? I'd probably get Jan, who's the person who manages the Facebook page, and I bet you would get Eric Moon, who's Epic Paul, to come visit because he's already here in Waco. But beyond that, all the rest of you are, hundreds or even thousands of miles away. Oh, Gene's checking out. Thanks for stopping in, Gene. It was good talking to you. I guess I've heard of rice beer. Never tried it, but I've heard of people doing it. Mark likes Canadian beers, huh? I've had Molson. It's all right. Hey, buddy, what's your favorite kind of beer? Huh? None? I've seen a hot YouTube channel called Hot Ones. Now, I don't really watch a whole lot of other stuff on YouTube. I got to admit, it would be fun to do a combo meetup like that. Like I said, it'd just be a matter of coordinating it. I mean, it would probably have to be coordinated by Jordan because Jordan's kind of the real celebrity among the three of us. Jeff and I are both kind of small potatoes compared to him. Cheap knockoffs, if you will. You just watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's one of my favorite movies ever. That's been probably been on my, I would call it probably top three list for as long as I can remember. That's just such an amazing movie. Just so many great performances in there. Jack Nicholson's great in it. Christopher Lloyd's amazing in it. Danny DeVito's great in it. The kid that played Billy Bibbit is great in it. No, I don't think nobody I've met in Waco has recognized me, or at least not said anything. Nobody at work or my neighbors are aware of it. Or at least not so they've said to me. Yeah, I've never had the Tsingtao beer. I've seen it. I've seen it in the stores. I've just never had it. Oh, Rhonda's here. Hi, Rhonda. And your oldest daughter is home for the first time in 18 months. Jessica, huh? All right. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Charlotte and Logan. I've missed you. I haven't seen you guys in a while. Did you ever get them out of their shirts, Rhonda? You think rice beers are lighter? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, like I said, I don't think I've ever had a rice beer. All right. Yeah, like I said before, you're going to be my best indicator how well those shirts hold up under repeated washings, because that's they're going to be used a lot. I know. I just know. So if they're still holding up after 8 washes, that's great news. Because that was my concern. Whenever you do, that kind of a process for putting an image on a shirt, you always got to wonder if it's going to wash off. Yeah, I'm not really worried about the marker. The marker was a Sharpie, and those things usually that last forever. I think those T-shirts will dissolve into dust, and they'll just be a part of the T-shirt with my initial on it left. I have a favorite Star Wars movie. Honestly, Star Wars I think got worse as it went along. Uh, the first three I thought were great, were brilliant, but the second three episodes, one, two, and three, weren't as good, and Disney killed the franchise. Yeah, I signed a couple. I signed the shirts for Charlotte and Logan. Rhonda had asked me to sign it on the sleeve for them. So okay, David says if you don't dry them, you just hang them on the line, they'll last longer. That's possible. I guess I'd think that the washing would be the most harsh, but I guess with shirts that are that small, the girls will probably outgrow them before they wear them out. It was funny when I was watching, when I was working at Warner Brothers in the CD factory. Um, Somebody, knew that I was going to go see the Star Wars movie. And said, "Yeah, there's a character in there you're going to really hate." And he didn't tell me who it was, but after I saw the movie, I went up to him and said, "Jar Jar Binks, right?" And he said, "Yep." Oh, they want to hang him on their wall when they outgrow him. That's cool. That's a good thing to do. That's actually I made one for my mom too. She wanted one, but she's not really a person to wear T-shirts, so she just said, make me one and put it in a frame for me. So yeah, see, I think with Jar Jar Binks, I think they were trying to add humor to it, and it just came off as stupid. It's like putting the Keystone Cops in a Star Wars movie. Give me a break. About as dumb of an idea as possible. It's about as dumb as putting aliens in an Indiana Jones movie. That's another movie I can't stand to watch. Yeah, they tried too hard to live up to the first movies, and they just failed miserably. Yeah, yeah, I guess you could even make the argument that Episode 6 was starting to Starting to lose it a little bit. The idea that Ewoks to destroy the Empire, give me a break. I don't know if it was exactly a full moon last night. Actually, let me look. I got an app for that. I think I do. Yeah, there it is. No, tonight's the full moon. Logan says, "Where's your cat?" Your cat's right there, Logan. There he is, right there. Just kind of sticking. He's not where you usually expect to see him, but there he is, right there. Of course, I'd have an app for that. You're right. I'd be disappointed in myself if I didn't. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I was getting a little fuzzy up top. I'm not one of those people that gets a haircut every month or something like that. I do it when it starts getting to the point where it's so long it starts getting annoying. I'm starting to get annoying. Do I have any interesting weather coming my way? No. Foreseeable future is it's just hot and humid for the next foreseeable while here. I think they're predicting 99 for the next 3 4 days. I have a stars app. I do actually. That app was the reason I chose Android over Apple because there's something called Sky Map. Uh, originally it was called Google Sky. It's really great. It's an app that you can. Hang on, I haven't opened it up in a while here. So, but what you can do is you can point it any place in the sky. It'll tell you what's in it, what you're looking at. So you can see planets, you can see the constellations. So it's very, very cool. There's a similar app like this on Apple, but it's no comparison. It's a weak comparison. So yeah, that was the reason I got Android in the first place. Is I saw that app. I said that's a must-have app for a nerd like me. Yeah. Air conditioning is a lifesaver here in Texas. Air conditioning in a swimming pool. I watched Walking Dead a little bit, but kind of lost interest in it. I mean, I like zombie movies, but I don't know. I guess it just got old after a while. Yeah, the only other movie I remember, the guy who played the Indian in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The only other thing I ever saw him in was he was in Poltergeist 2, and he was pretty good in that too. Brains, yeah, right. Now, actually, a lot of people don't know this, but uh, all the zombies and like Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead and all that, they weren't necessarily eating brains. That was all about they were just flesh eaters. The whole brains thing. And in fact, I learned this from Jordan because we went to the Unita Medical Supply store from uh, Return of the Living Dead, and that was the first time they introduced the zombies that were actually eating brains. That's a great horror flick. Yeah, I've gotten a couple of tomatoes. In fact, I pulled what I've been doing is pulling the tomatoes off before they're entirely red, just to make sure that I think there's some varmint that comes and takes them from time to time. So I pull them off when they're a little green, and I let them ripen in the window. And I pulled one off last night. Here, I'll show you. Hang on. Hi, bite. Bite always takes off when I stand up. Yeah, this one's even a little bit more orange than it was yesterday. It was almost entirely green, about the size of a golf ball. But that's one I pulled off of the plant the other day. Give that a day or two. That's going to be ready to eat. Zoomies and grandpires, huh? Interesting. Orion is low in the sky in Waco. Well, it's not one. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so keep that in mind. The tomatoes I've gotten for the most part have been those little cherry tomatoes that are about the size of a medium sized grape, and they're actually pretty sweet. Actually, I had a tomato in here last week on the live stream. I actually ate it on the live stream. They're pretty good too. Yeah, I don't think it's rabbits. I don't know what it was. It might have been like a possum or a raccoon or a skunk. Those are kind of in the area. Rhonda's tomatoes have been sweet. This is the first tomato to come off of this bush. You remember when I planted tomatoes, I had like three different varieties of them, and this is the first one to come off of one of the varieties. I've gotten a whole bunch of the little cherry tomatoes, but they don't ever come out in enough quantity that it's anything more than just pop them off the vine and plop them in my mouth. So, and I've gotten a couple on one of the other varieties, one of the big ones, and that was one of the ones I ate last week on the live stream. But like I said, this is off the third variety. So yeah, I would have let this ripen on the vine if not for the fact that occasionally something comes and steals them, and so yeah, we always seem to talk about food here at BNA. You have a lot of cucumbers as well, huh? That's cool. Yeah, cherry tomatoes are good for salad, but like I said, they aren't coming in enough quantity that, like I said, it's worth doing anything more than just pop them off the vine and eat them right there. But they're very good that way. Bite's coming back now. The girls eat them before they get in the house. Yeah, yeah, that's me too. Like I said, I'm looking forward to see what this one tastes like. A couple days, it'll be nice and red and ready to go. So, okay, bye. Mark's going to turn into a werewolf tonight. So watch out, everybody. Trying to get him into the house, but to make BLTs, but no luck with the girls. Yeah, yeah. I'm to the point where I kind of watch hurricanes now because there's always a possibility that they may impact my life a little bit. I mean, it's not going to be really that big of an issue because I'm so far inland, and really the most dangerous part of the hurricane isn't the wind, but the storm surge. And I'm far enough inland at this point that the storm surge isn't going to be an issue, and the storm should start losing power by the time it gets to me. So, does Bite follow me around when I'm working in the house? No, basically, he and his sister just kind of hang out in their room most of the time. They come out a lot when I do live streams because they know I'm dishing the treats. What's for lunch today? No lunch. I don't usually eat lunch. I'll probably have some dinner. Probably just heat up in the microwave what I prepared for bites and nibbles segment that you haven't seen yet. That I did last week. You'll see that. I don't know at some point. I'm actually a few days ahead on vlogs. I don't have to do vlogs at all this week if I don't want to. I like to get a little bit ahead so I have a little bit of a buffer. Then if something happens and I can't come up with something for one day, then I'm still all right. The wall behind me looks nice. You like the colors I chose? Thank you. Yeah, place is starting to come together. It's starting to feel like a home. Yeah, that was something my mom suggested. I guess I'd heard that before, but this is the first time I've ever grown tomatoes. So I took them off, and yeah, it usually works pretty well. I wait until they just start turning a little bit away from the green, and this tomato looked almost entirely like that yesterday, and all of this has happened just in the probably 20 or so hours since I pulled them off. So that'll turn quick. Yeah, I usually eat breakfast. I do that before I do the live stream. That's why I don't get hungry when we're doing the live stream. Everybody says they get hungry when I do my live streams. It doesn't happen to me because I've usually eaten right before I started. So you need to get some ribs. That sounds good. I tried making cheesecake. No, I haven't. They do taste good yellow. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. These are a little green. I don't know. People say they eat fried green tomatoes. I don't know. I just like them. I like them when they're red or orange. That's just me. French toast this morning. That sounds good. Yeah, I feel very comfortable here. This feels like a home. And it is sort of like a museum too, because I got, all sorts of stuff over the walls. Everyone keeps commenting on the videos that like there's not an inch of wall space. No, there isn't. You know what? I like having the walls filled. Place looks boring, I think. Kind of reflects who I am. And I've got a bunch of things that I don't have room for that probably aren't going to be able to go on the wall. Or either that, or I'll have to like circulate things around. Pull certain things off, put other things back up. Carrot cake I made the other day looked great. It is. It was very good. I thought that frosting was going to be overly sweet, but it's perfect. It's perfect just the way it is. And you're having homemade chicken and dumplings. That sounds good too. Oh, Suzanne's dog is giving her the stink eye. She's got to go. Thanks for stopping in, Suzanne. It's good to talk to you. Some say your living room looks like a museum because of all the dolls. You're a doll collector, huh? I think you sent me a picture of your husband wearing his T-shirt at one point, and I think I saw some dolls in the background there too. Is my storm shelter stock radio, warm clothes, MREs, beer? No, actually, I don't have any beer in the storm shelter. That's maybe something I need to rethink. Was my place in California smaller? No, this place is a little bit larger than that. Where this place is really superior is the property size. My backyard in California was 10% the size of this yard. So yeah, I really love the fact I have a decent sized lot, a lot of room in the backyard to kind of do what I want. I've basically done anything I could, I've basically done anything I could do in the backyard in California because I basically was out of space. So I like the fact that there's a lot of room in the yard where I could do lots of things if I want. That'll keep me going for a while. He's looking out the window right now. Here, there must be some birds out there that are entertaining him. You have a few thousand Barbies. Wow, that's quite a collection. Dry red chilies in your cucumbers when you pickle them to give them a little spark. That sounds good. Yeah, that's impressive. And not just a thousand, a few thousand. That smokes any collection I got. Am I ever gonna get a four wheeler? I don't know. Probably not. I don't. Closest thing I got to a four wheeler right now is a tractor. Is a lawnmower. But I think you're talking like a quad runner or something, right? Yeah, Jordan shot a number of videos with Jaw at my house and Flash. That was always kind of fun. Bet the Instant Pot will make a awesome beef barley stew. Yeah, well, if you got a good recipe, send it to me. I'll try it. How's Flash? I haven't gotten any recent videos from Beth on Flash, but uh, probably doing fine. I haven't heard anything. I popped a wheelie on the lawnmower by accident yet. I almost popped a wheelie when I was pulling those flagstones around, but that wasn't because of me accelerating too quickly. It's just because I was pulling against something and the wheels were lifting off the ground because of it. Not intentionally. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, I love my Instant Pot. I wasn't sure I'd use it as much as I do, but I can do so much in it, and I'm starting to get to the point now where I know it well enough that I can modify recipes that don't actually work for the Instant Pot and make them work in the Instant Pot. In fact, that's I got a I got a bites and nibbles segment coming up in a few days that it's a recipe that I actually modified from a regular recipe and actually prepared it in the Instant Pot. So when you eat strawberries, you think of Flash. That's awesome. You're enjoying making the recipes that I vlog. That's cool. Great. That's sort of why I do that. Just to one, it's I mean a lot of these recipes I've never tried before. So it's an opportunity for me to find out what how they are, and I found some stuff that I really like. How's the plant I replanted? It's doing good. It's doing good. Yeah, it really needed the need to be in a bigger pot. You make all the stuff I make except Jello because you don't like Jello. Teach their own, I guess. You've seen how to try to make Jello and it grossed you out so bad you can never eat it again. Oh, that's a bummer. Jello's good. Have I ever seen a UFO? Um, I guess I've seen something that I would say technically fits the description of the UFO. I don't know if it was actually a UFO or just an airplane that I didn't couldn't see the lights on. There was something that flew by my house in California a number of years ago, and I didn't see flashing lights on it, and I didn't hear a motor, and it should have been so close I should have been able to. It probably was an airplane, but I don't know. The technical definition of a UFO is it's an unidentified flying object. It was unidentified, and it was flying. So, what did I think of the Marfa lights? I've never seen them myself, so I guess I'd have to see them before I made any decisions about it. How about a ghost? I've been to the David Oben house, and I don't know. I don't know if that place is haunted or what. I don't. I've never seen anything that convinces me there's a ghost. And even those weird dreams, which could have been interpreted as a ghost. I know I was asleep. Because the second I woke myself up, the issue stopped. So I don't know about ghosts. Remember my reactions at the Omen House? Yeah, it's just, you know, I guess I'm a little more analytical and I look at stuff that way. I try to figure out what's going on. What was his evidence really? Some of his dolls on top of the fish tank occasionally fell over. It's like, okay, but the layout of that house could make that happen. The house is built on the side of a cliff, and there's like, support beams going into the ground, and then beams going across and going into the side of the cliff, which means you got support here, you got support here, and then anything here, is kind of floating a little bit and can bounce between those beams. In addition, if you have beam, 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 beam all the way across here, and something is in between the beams here, something's jumping between the beams here could cause this to bounce. And so I don't know. I don't, and he had and David had those two big dogs. And so, while he has video footage of the dolls falling down on the fish tank, he didn't show what the dogs were doing at the time. And I don't know, I just didn't see anything. He had when we went there and did the live stream that one night on Jordan's channel, and he pulled out this device that I guess they use for tracking telephone calls, or tracking telephone lines and stuff like that. And he said that was evidence of some sort of electrical disturbance. The first thing I thought is he's got rheostat dimmers all over the house, and that throws out all sorts of weird radio frequencies. And so that was the first thing I was doing when he was holding that thing around. It's like I was playing around with the dimmers and turning the lights on and off, because that can have an effect on that. So yeah, I guess they'd have to call me a skeptic on that. Yeah, I think I agree with you, VNA. You wouldn't get me to build a house on the side of a cliff like that. See, I think a lot of times ghost encounters kind of start off with, does the person believe in ghosts to begin with? Me, I'm a skeptic, so when I go into it, it's like, I don't think so. And so maybe it's just too easy for me. Maybe I'm able to rationalize it away, or maybe I just don't see it because I don't believe in it. I don't know. If I saw something that I couldn't explain, then that might change my opinion, but I've never seen anything to imply there's ghosts. Well, just because a dog doesn't want to go downstairs, that doesn't mean there's a ghost. There could be a whole bunch of reasons. Dina says she's more afraid of people than ghosts. Yeah, I agree. I watched a bunch of those ghost hunter shows, and it seemed a lot of times, they were just people out there, um, you know, they seemed to be wanting to kind of freak themselves out. So every time the house creaked, that was evidence of a ghost. No, houses creak, especially when you get into the evening and they start cooling down. This house creaks a lot, and that house does too. When you're on the side of a cliff, and you're subject to earthquakes and stuff like that, and you're also, having the heat and cool of the house, the house heating and cooling during the day and night, that causes things to happen. I mean, I remember a couple times when we were in the Omen house and we heard like a thump, and my first thought is, hey, if that's a ghost, do that again. Never happened. Hey, Elvis, how you doing? Yeah, I definitely on the bite and nibble live streams when I was going to work during the beginning of the whole COVID thing, where I'd leave the camera running all day, and people kept saying it. They said they heard weird noises. Yeah, that's just a weird thing. That's digital artifacts caused by the mics and stuff like that. And I was in an apartment at the time, so you might have been hearing neighbors or stuff like that. If you made Jello with two different colors, it'd be purple and yellow. That sounds good. Zach Baggins from Ghost Adventures grew up outside of Chicago. Yeah, you hear noise everywhere. Any house is going to creak, and if you're in an apartment, and sharing walls with neighbors, that's going to be an effect too. Oh, look who's waiting down the hall there. Actually, got Nibble to come out and make an appearance here. Let's see if we can arc it over, bite, and get one to Nibble here. Nope, not enough. Not enough arc in that one. And that one hit him. There we go. Nibble got that one. Yeah, you poor unloved, unfed thing, you. Okay, they both got a few that time. Sometimes that's the best way to do it. You overwhelm them with numbers, and then bite can't grab them all. Logan says the other cat. Yep, that's Nibble. But of course, Bite gets all the good treats there because he's the pig. One of the sounds that's kind of waking me up these days now is the sounds of the squirrels knocking the pecans out of the tree, and they land on the roof and go roll off the roof. If I were a ghost, would I waste my time in a house or go visit the mysteries of the universe? Good point. I would bet as a ghost I could get pretty close to a black hole. That would be pretty funny. Yeah, I hear the squirrels running across the roof too, but it's very very noticeable when they knock a pecan out of the tree because it sounds like a golf ball hitting the roof and then rolling off. I hear that all the time. I hear it sometimes even when I'm doing the live streams because one of the pecan trees is literally right out the front door here and kind of leaning over the house. In fact, I got to probably get out there and trim it at some point. I trimmed one of the trees a couple weeks ago, but that's probably the best way to keep the pecan trees from or pecans themselves from falling onto the roof is to make sure the branches don't hang over the roof. I like having the squirrels in the yard. Do I like the movie Dogma? Yeah, that's funny. It's a funny movie. George Carlin was great in that. That's probably my favorite of the Kevin Smith movies. Mallrats is good too. I guess Jane Silent Bob Strike Back isn't bad either. I'm just a junkie with a monkey. I'm still thinking about getting a dog. I don't know. The concern I have would be leaving a dog alone all day at work. Because the house isn't really set up in such a way where I could put a doggy door. So you'd either be inside or outside. And 12 and a half hours is a long time for either way. So I don't know. I'd like to have one, but I'm not home enough to do it. So I'd have to seriously think about that. When do I think I'm going to start the cabinets? Actually, we started the cabinets. I placed an order for it uh, late last week. They're actually coming out tomorrow to do actual detailed measurements, and then it's going to be 17 weeks before they can get the cabinets done because apparently it takes that long to do it right now because first off there's like a labor shortage, and so it's so hard to get people to work, and so they're taking a long time to do that. And in addition to that, you have the issue with um, because of the mask, because of the COVID thing, so many people are doing home improvements right now. So you have huge demand and low supply, and that's 17 weeks to get it done. So yeah, it will happen, but it's going to probably be around late December. Yeah, and it's going to be pricey too. Yeah, it's probably about time for me to wrap this one up too. Thanks for stopping in, Mark. But yeah, we've been going. I usually do 2 hours, and we're a little over 2 hours now. So it's probably time to wrap this one up. I got to go figure out what I'm going to do for a vlog today. So we'll do that and catch up again next week. So yeah, I think that's all I got, everyone. Thanks for watching. See you next time.